everybody, I am Allie and this is my YNR chat vlog for Sunday, February 1st. Welcome to February and thanks for sitting down to have a little chat with me about YNR, just a short one this week. There hasn't been a whole lot going on outside of the central storylines, so just a couple of notes. So Noah and Eden got themselves into some serious trouble this week. They both need a stern talking to for sure. I have to say that Eden, she did definitely initiate this entire ice skating scenario. That girl is a little troublemaker, and I can understand where Nick and Phyllis are coming from as far as not wanting Noah to hang out with her. Of course, the more that they have tried to push those two apart, the more they resort to little stunts like this. But yeah, so they went ice skating, and Noah unfortunately fell through the ice. He fell through the ice, and it was kind of surprising because Noah has been on so many camping trips over the years. It's like all summer, every time you turn around, Noah's on a camping trip. You would think that he would know not to go out onto a lake ice skating unsupervised. I don't know. My dad's an ice fisherman, so I know that there's a whole technique to it. And it's ironic, too, because I believe that Sharon, when she was pregnant with Noah, she ended up slipping on some ice outside at the ranch, which I believe caused her to go into labor with Noah. So there's an interesting theme developing there, and I do believe that is how the storyline happened. So yes. Anyway, Sharon is meanwhile at the cabin, unaware that any of this is going on. She's reminiscing about her life, specifically with Nick, and she sits down to write this really lovely letter to him, which is actually the second letter that Sharon has written to Nick recently, or in the past year. Only the first one Jack found, and it became a very huge deal. But Sharon also had this very open conversation with Brad, which I think helped her to realize what it was that she really wanted, and that's why she went to the cabin in the first place. She wanted to sort out her feelings, and even though that wasn't a very positive conversation for Brad, I do think it helped Sharon decide what she really wants, which is Nick. And you know, I appreciated being able to hear Sharon's thoughts via the letter, but I'm glad that she didn't decide to give it to him. I think that it would not have been right of her to interfere in Nick and Phyllis's marriage. No matter how much she loves Nick, that marriage is over right now, and we need to give Phyllis and Nick the opportunity to repair what's going on in their marriage. If it falls apart on its own, you know, then Nick and Sharon maybe, but I think it was the right thing to do for Sharon to throw away the letter and not decide to pursue a married man. But she threw it in this pile of firewood that's probably going to get ready to be burned. But as we all know, Nick is on his way to the cabin as we speak. He's probably driving right now, in fact, as you're watching this video. He's driving to the cabin to go warn Sharon, and there's no doubt, of course, that probably when he gets there, he won't see Sharon right away, but he will see the letter that she wrote. So that's very interesting. And I think that probably, you know, Nick and Phyllis's issues compounded with what's going on with Noah will definitely be bringing Nick and Sharon back together. I'm kind of curious to know if something is gonna happen at the cabin, especially with Nick being so mad and feeling so betrayed with Phyllis right now because of the Noah situation. On top of everything else, I'm wondering if there might be a little hanky-panky at the cabin. I think we'll just have to see. Brad has been such a good guy this week, which is why it makes everything that's happening to him so much more tragic. He has been getting closer with his daughters, Abby and Colleen. He had this wonderful moment of connection at the athletic club with Tracy. We had a flashback back to when Brad was just this young, wet behind the ears gardener. He was dumb as a box of rocks, but I will tell you something too. Don Diamond looks better, 10 times better today than he looked back then, no question. question. He has aged so well. Gorgeous man. And I loved that he had that moment with Tracy of saying, you know, I've always wondered if it was you who was actually the one who got away. So very sad, very nice. Brad also had his heart broken by Sharon this week. He went to her with you know, a great deal of openness, wanting to save their relationship, if not just their friendship, and he got kind of closed down. But again, I felt it was a productive conversation. Very hard for him, but you know, I couldn't help but feel very compelled for him. And then Brad saving Noah's life by rescuing him, pulling him out of the freezing lake, and now he's missing. Is he dead? Is Brad dead? On Friday we saw that he was laying on the ice. It was his scarf and his lantern, and the lantern flickered out into blackness. I think Brad is dead. Wow. And I'm not ready for Brad to be gone. That's the problem. I feel like if he is actually gone, I feel like this is very it's just unbelievable. Number one, if Brad is actually definitively dead, I hope that that's not the case, because I wish that they would at least leave it open for a possible return in the future. I really like him, and I don't want to just, you know, believe that he's just gone forever, kind of like they did with Ryan back in the 90s. I was like, why did they have to just kill him, you know? Just, you know, at least allow him to come back for a couple of episodes here and there. But also, if he's actually definitively dead, was that kind of anticlimactic? I mean, for all of the years that he's been on the show, it just seems like, you know, it just didn't seem like it was that dramatic. I really was kind of thinking that somebody was gonna shoot him. I totally assumed that that's where it was going, because Victor and Phyllis both had major motives in the days and weeks leading up to his death. Both Phyllis and Victor made threats to Brad. So, I was really, really expecting there to be that twist to the Brad storyline, and maybe that'll still happen, who knows. Maybe he will go presumed missing, and Victor and Phyllis, and who knows who else in Genoa City will be a suspect. But I have to say, if that is where the direction that they're going, if Phyllis is implicated in Brad's death in any way, shape, or form, talk about the final nail in the coffin for Nick and Phyllis. That would be sad. So, I don't know. I don't know the spoilers, so I'll have to keep my eyes and ears open to see what's going on with that. Okay, so that's it for me for now. I just wanted to do a little quickie vlog, but I want to thank you guys all for watching. Please feel free to leave any text comments or video responses that you would like. I'm very interested to hear what your thoughts are on these topics for the week. Otherwise, I will be back here next Sunday afternoon, as always, and if you want to check up on me in the meantime, you can go to my website at buttonhead.org, and you can also go to the main page of this YouTube channel and leave me a comment if you would like. So I will look forward to seeing you guys then. Have a great week and enjoy the show.